Dear Melissa, I've been trying to implement outcome based roadmaps at my company, but every stakeholder still wants to see feature lists with dates. Sales needs it for deals, marketing needs it for campaigns, and engineering wants sprint planning clarity. How do you practically transition an organization from output to outcome thinking when everyone's incentives seem misaligned? So, this is a really common issue in many companies, but I want you to remember one thing: outputs are not the devil. You want to connect your outputs back to outcomes, and your roadmap should really tell that story. So it's not that we're just communicating outcomes and saying, hey, we're going to go do a bunch of stuff and hopefully you see that outcome in a year. What we want to do is connect the things that we're doing back to the outcomes. And we can do that by discussing the problems that we're really looking at. So when we're looking at a roadmap and we want to see what we're releasing, we should be saying these releases are going to help us reach these outcomes. And that's how we prioritize a roadmap. And that's how we figure out what goes on the roadmap. We figure out if we need to do trade-offs, it all comes back to those outcomes. So that's what it means to be outcome focused. And that's what it means to really have an outcome focused roadmap. It tells a story. So when you're having issues, though, where everybody just wants to see what's released and you know that you need to take some time and discover what those outputs should be, you want to make sure that the roadmap is clear to communicate what status your different items are in. So, for example, at another company, what we did was we labeled everything on the roadmap on whether it was in discovery mode still, if we were experimenting in it with alphas or betas, or if we were ready for release and it was going to be generally available. This allowed us to communicate to the rest of the company that if you see things in discovery mode, don't expect an output to be around it. It's going to be more about what we're exploring, how we're going to really solve that problem, but we can't really promise that we're going to pursue it because we haven't validated it yet. Things that were in experimentation mode are still being validated, and we're having them introduced to a few customers here and there. We can start to talk about the problems we're going to solve, but we're not committing to super specific functionality. We're still uncovering that. And as we do, we're going to update that roadmap item to be a little more specific about the solutions we're building. When we're getting ready to release to everybody, then our roadmap is going to get a lot more detailed about what we're releasing. So here, you're really evolving the roadmap and pulling that theme through, but you're also connecting that back to the outcomes that you want to release. And when we did this, we would also hide it for certain audiences. So, for example, if we're talking to sales, we're not going to show them everything in discovery when we're not sure if we're actually going to release it. We're going to show them what is going to get released. So that's a good way to help you really think through what am I showing on my roadmap and what I'm not showing on my roadmap. And then we also want to communicate things that are further out that we might be looking at, let's say, further in the year as bigger themes, bigger areas we want to uncover. We're not going to look at super specific functionality. This can also help them with planning. So you do want to make sure that sales is ready and enabled to actually sell the things that you're building. So you're going to want to include them earlier on when you have validated that's the thing you're going to build so that they can get ready, they can make their materials, but you start to create those working relationships about when you can actually expect things to come out. So just hiding your roadmap or not sharing it with people is a really bad idea because they're going to make up things and fill in those gaps. But if you create the structure and the communication framework around it, then roadmaps can be a really strategic planning tool. So I hope that helps. And I wish you the best of luck in getting your team to really be more outcome centric. Remember, it's not just about outcomes, it's about what outputs create outcomes. So that's how we connect it back to that. And again, if you have questions for me, go to dearmelissa.com and let me know what they are. I'll answer them on a future episode.